This is an AI-generated podcast based on the article Brandie Yoder Found Her Dream Job, and it's changing lives in the process, written by Judi Bontreger. The article link is in the show notes. Welcome to Kingdom Factor Collective. I'm your host, Judi Bontreger, and today I'm sitting down with Brandie Yoder, CEO of RETA, a faith-based nonprofit serving vulnerable families and women in her community. Brandie, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad to be here. This is stuff I love talking about, so.
So let's just start right there, because you've said, and I love this, that you are living your dream. But it sounds like the road to get here was anything but a straight line. You were a bedside ICU nurse, hospice care, hospital case management, director of 6 departments, and then somehow you ended up leading a nonprofit. How does that happen?
Right? Yeah, I never had a goal to be a CEO in a nonprofit. That was never on my radar. But what happened was, in case management, I started seeing the full picture, not just the clinical side, but all the social fractures that were actually putting people in crisis in the first place. And that it opened something in me. I got promoted to manager, then director, overseeing 6 departments at Goshen Health. I loved it. I was good at it. And then, life kind of asked something more of me.
What do you mean by that, life asked something more?
So my husband and I were both at director level positions, and we decided to start fostering children, and the margins in our life got really thin. A sales opportunity came my husband's way, one he didn't actually want, but we thought it might be a better fit for me for that season, so I stepped into it. It wasn't my passion, but it was right for our family at the time. And honestly, my hunger for leadership never went away. It just waited. And when I found RETA with this unapologetically faith-centered mission, something clicked that I hadn't fully felt before.
That phrase, personal and professional alignment, I think a lot of people in faith-driven work are chasing exactly that. What does it actually feel like when you find it?
It's like being able to say out loud, this is why we do what we do. I finally felt like I found my dream job. And it's not the polished version of a dream, right? There are hard conversations, sleepless nights, navigating trauma, but I love the connections, I love the work, I love the team. I've never loved a job like this.
That's interesting, because you talk a lot about this concept of proximity to the need. Can you unpack that? Because it sounds like it's not just a philosophy for you. It's almost structural at RETA.
Yeah, it's really baked into the DNA of how we operate. For me to effectively lead an organization that desires to serve people, I have to have proximity. Right now, a lot of that is coming from our home. We're navigating life with a teen mom and her 1-year-old baby. And every staff member at RETA is expected to teach a class, mentor a client, maintain some direct connection to the work. Not as a box to check, as a heartbeat to protect. Does that make sense?
It does. And the results are pretty remarkable. 200% growth in client base over 2.5 years, around 100 volunteers every week, 70 to 75 active one-on-one mentors. That's not happening because of good marketing. So what is it? What are people feeling when they walk through the doors?
So here's what's fascinating. I recently came across research on oxytocin and how eye contact and genuine warmth and safe relationships actually disarm the amygdala, the brain's fear center. And when that fear is disarmed, people can actually think clearly and process what's being offered to them. We've created a space where people can literally experience that. It's not, I'm going to parenting class because I was told to. That felt safety is so important. Trauma causes people to get stuck, but when they feel safe in relationship, they start to move forward.
And you've said your staff can't create that safety for clients unless they feel safe first. How do you build that internally?
Culture is everything, and that starts with hiring. Right people, right seat. There is no compromising that. Because once you've lived in a culture where there's no ego, where it's not, I'm up here, you're down there, where your team is literally sitting across from people in a way that makes them feel worthy and seen, you don't want to give that up. Every member of our team sees people through a lens of truly wanting to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and that is non-negotiable for us.
I want to ask about something you added during a values refresh at RETA, The phrase humble ambition. What does that mean to you, and why does it matter for a faith-driven leader specifically?
Yeah, I read that phrase years ago in a magazine and it just stayed with me. The idea that a leader's two most sought after traits are humility and ambition, held together, not traded off against each other. And I feel that tension every day. I make hard decisions and I don't always get them right. I replay conversations more than I'd like. Sometimes I bring too many new ideas to my team too fast, and I have to pace myself so I don't burn them out. But I am learning. The more I know about myself, the better leader I am, and the better team we become.
You're pretty open about using tools like the Enneagram and DISC to understand yourself and your team. You're an Enneagram 1, high expectations of yourself. How has that self-awareness shaped the way you lead?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, I own the Enneagram 1 fully. High expectations of myself are something I actively have to keep in check. But those assessments, they give common language. Some people think they're just excuses. I see them as an opportunity to grow. And one of the biggest shifts for me has been moving from operator to visionary. Early in my career, I was in the details, managing departments, doing the hands-on work. Now my job is to set a clear direction and give people the freedom to find their own path to get there. There are probably 50 ways to get somewhere, and my team won't always choose the one I thought of. As long as we're getting there in the timeline we agreed on, I'm learning to let it go.
Brandie, this has been such a rich conversation. If you had to leave our listeners with one thing, one takeaway from everything you've built and everything you've learned, what would it be?
Get close to the need. Whatever your work is, whatever your calling is, don't lead it from a distance. Proximity changes you. It changed me as a nurse, as a foster mom, as a CEO. When you stay close to the people you're serving, it keeps your why alive. And that matters more than any strategy or system you could ever build.
I love that. Brandie Yoder, CEO of RETA, thank you so much for your time and the work you're doing. You can find a link to the full article in the show notes. And if today's conversation resonated with you, share it with someone in your network who's leading from a place of faith. We'll see you next time on Kingdom Factor Collective.